Probably the thing that most disturbed me about that last podcast was that you were in charge.
I had a feeling this would happen one day.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Harley Malarkey Show, Harley Malarkey Podcast, Old Dog New Tricks. It's a new trick he learned.
Yes, go. So we just did a podcast and we're sitting here, we're going to do another one, right? Because the last one was so confusing. I'm not quite sure what we were talking about in that one. There was religion, there was education, there was politics, there was salted butter.
Oh yeah, salted butter.
There was a Prince song that was just slaughtered. Electric word life, and that means forever, and that's a mighty long time. Electric word life, and that means forever, and that is a mighty long time. Probably the thing that most disturbed me about that last podcast was that you were in charge.
I had a feeling this would happen one day.
Yeah. So it's, old dog, like women are supposed to be the passengers in the car, right? Like I should be driving and you should just like compliment me and tell me how great I'm doing and the road will get us to where we're going.
No, I'm on the passenger side and then I lean over and I open your door
and kick my ass out.
Yeah. Kick your ass out and then I turn a different direction.
Shut up.
Maybe I even run over your foot.
No, but like, how can you do that when you're knitting?
Or like preparing a charcuterie plate in the car while we drive.
A sharp knife?
No, just like it's, my job to knit and make snacks and suck your dick.
Well, that's so cool. Now that you got it right, this is perfect. All right, so let me just drive this boat here. I don't think you should be making a charcuterie plate in the car. I mean, like, you could just make me like a peanut butter jelly sandwich or something like that in the car. You don't need to be cutting up charcuterie and cheese in the car.
It's in case you get a little,
Yeah, charcuterie is in case. You are 100% correct.
No, just in case you get a little above, in front of your skis. Is that what they say?
Over
your skis.
Yeah. I snowboard.
Then I'll accidentally, you'll like, press too hard on the gas and oops.
Oh. That's called murder.
No, just in the arm.
Attempted murder. I mean, look how close my arm is to my heart.
Oh.
This isn't funny. The Tricks here has lost her shit, people. All right? Okay. Bring it in. So, I wanted to have a subject. Yeah. Let's go back to the good old days when I ruled the roost. Okay. All right? I'm the cock, you're the hen.
Uh-huh.
Just lay the fucking eggs and I'll take care of business. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all right.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. So I had a meeting earlier today and there was some things that came up and I was talking about salted butter. I don't know why. Salted butter. And the idea is, as a young chef, the French are always like, never use salted butter. Always use this. They're this. And the whole thing came to me like, why not use salted butter? Now, I know all the chefs out there are like, oh, no, you can't. But why? But why? Because we were taught to. We were told to. It wasn't an option not to. And we just believed the hierarchy and I bet the people that told us that didn't know why either. Because a great chef should be an efficiency expert.
Yeah.
To be able to make things great and make them quickly.
Yeah.
Right? So why not use salted butter? It saves the step, because what do we do to the unsalted butter?
You add salt.
And just, you know what? It was a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? I think I used that word right?
Yeah, you did. It's like a metaphor for God, right?
Yeah. For God. The butter's God. And if you go to Wisconsin in the summertime, they actually have somebody that carves a big block of butter into a piece of art, and maybe they're going to carve it this year into God. How many other things in our lives do we not question? I firmly believe that if we look forward in 50 years, we're going to look back at what we're doing today, what we're driving, what we're eating, how we're exercising, how we're loving, how we're hating, how we're doing everything, how we're using our phone, and go, we were cave people. We were so stupid. How do we fix that? Doctor,
as I
can you save humanity? No, just in a couple sentences.
I'll certainly try.
I have a very short attention span.
I know you do. Well, as I mentioned in the last episode, I think that the biggest part of it is that we're not teaching our children to be critical thinkers. And as we've talked about before, the phones are ruining their brains. And it's even more so like they're not critical thinkers. Like they just scroll through, like, I mean, we're guilty of it too. How many times have we quoted like something we learned on an Instagram reel, you know? I actually am good about all that stuff. If I see something that I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, I always go fact check. I don't believe things that I just see on Instagram. But I think this all starts with teaching our children to be critical thinkers and teaching our children just because somebody tells you something, just because you read something, just because somebody of authority tells you to do something does not mean you should.
Government, religion, school, education. And right there, that's another thing. We see
doctors, that's a huge one. I can get into that.
Oh, that is a good one. We're very naive. We're very stupid. And you evolve through questioning authority, questioning the facts that you've been given and proving them to yourselves. I mean, some of them are hard, like scientific facts, and you're like, oh, I can't do that because I don't know science. But I have children that have gone through the school system, almost high school and high school kids. And they ask me questions all the time like, Dad, why do I care who was the dictator at blah, 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 blah in Europe in this year? And I was like, I don't know. And then they're like, Dad, why do I have to know the circumference of this and this and this and this? And as a businessman, I love numbers and I understand the importance of numbers. Yeah. And I know what math I need to do to get through life, but I'm not a scientist. Our education system is so broken.
It's so broken.
Our political system.
Oh, so broken.
It's just a mess.
It's such a mess.
I mean, we need to like scrap the whole thing and start over. It is the most broken, corrupt bureaucracy of shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
The medical system.
Yeah, the medical system is so broken. Like you should definitely not accept if you go to your doctor and you say, hey, I've been struggling with anxiety. And the first thing that your doctor says is, here, take this pill, find a new doctor. Like the medical system, and it's not necessarily these doctors' fault, but they have been trained to look at symptoms as something to be taken care of with a Band-Aid, essentially. They don't look at the whole person. They don't look at the root cause. And a lot of times doctors are wrong about things. So it's just because somebody's a doctor, it's like, oh, my doctor said this, my doctor said that. Like that's still an authority.
You know what just happened, what you just did? You just scared the whole world to death. Holy shit. I can live with knowing that my politicians don't know what the fuck they're doing and they're all infighting and they're all making money on the side and all doing these things. And I can live going, God, maybe they're not getting educated at school, but at least I don't have to see them for 7 hours a day or 6 hours a day. But man, holy shit, the doctor doesn't even know what he's doing. Now we're in trouble.
Well,
all right.
Get a second opinion. You know, there's great doctors out there. I like a good naturopath sometimes, but they can also run wacky tests on you. I think it's just really important to be your own advocate and just to tell a personal story about that. The issue that I ran into with the Western medical system was around birth control. And it's like doctors are just told like birth control is good for women. Like, oh, you have irregular periods, take the pill. You have PCOS, take the pill. You're having side effects from birth control, just try a different pill. And that was my experience. I was having crazy side effects from birth control. Like this is TMI, but like 2 weeks into my cycle each month, I was like bleeding like crazy. It's called breakthrough bleeding. And my doctor's like, just keep trying that pill and see if something changes. And
the craziest thing is, do you know who's lining that doctor's pocket? The person who makes the pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of it goes back to is like, you can't trust a lot of these things because you have to see where the funding is coming from. Our politicians, like you can't necessarily trust what they're saying in terms of like the environment or X, Y, and Z because they're getting money from
all
big agriculture, big alcohol.
Driven.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, for you people who have anxiety right now, probably turn this off. But and for those of you who know this already, what are we gonna do? It's all a fucking mess. I mean, go sit at a park, go sit at the beach and just smile that you're breathing fresh air. Hopefully it's fresh. You know, I'm not going to be that much of a complete buzzkill.
Yeah.
But it's finding happiness in the smallest things around you, I think is the way to get through these things. Don't overcommit to watching the politics unless you want to go fix the politics.
Yeah.
Totally. You can find out what's other people who have gone through these medical conditions have done. There is great, great success stories in so many different medical fields. But again, questioning them.
Yeah, don't take the first answer you get to be fact from anybody. And I can come to you as a recovering paranoid person because I was this person.
She's not completely recovered.
Mostly recovered. Anyways, I was the person that's like freaking out about what's in my water, what's in my air, what's in my food. Is my doctor lying to me?
She's still freaking out about those things.
No, I control what I can and I let go of the rest. And I think that's what the point is it's like I used to read all the news, like especially during COVID. Like I was reading I was engaging in the 24-hour news cycle. I was like listening to all these people that I shouldn't have listened to. And I think what is important is that you learn how to take care of yourself. Like, I think that's the whole point of all of this. And it's like, how do you take care of yourself? How do you feed yourself the best you can? Not perfection.
Not just food, but knowledge.
Yeah. And so for me, I don't watch the news at all. I think that, apathy when it comes to our political climate.
I find that if you just don't want to know something about it, just look the other direction and everything's going to be okay.
Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
You know what? A lot of you like very passionate advocate people out there are like, what do you mean you can't turn your back on politics? You can't turn your back on this. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know what? In order to survive and be happy, sometimes you do.
Yeah.
You have to pick your battle, I think.
Well, I think it's also like, what are you doing with that knowledge? Like if you are, watching the news and then you're out there and you're fighting for women's rights, keep fucking watching the news.
Let's go. Get it done. Go team.
If you're watching the news and you're getting into a fight in the Facebook comments, turn off your fucking TV and read a goddamn book.
Yeah. Yeah. Get off the Reddit.
Like
you couch soldiers, you.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I think a very, very large percentage of people who are not using salted butter are sitting on the couch because they've never questioned it. They're watching their CNN or their Fox or their whatever they're getting their information from, and they've got a cocktail in their hand and they are pissed off and they are doing absolutely nothing about it. And they're not even, like you said, they're not fact checking the other side. They're not trying to see with the truth. They're just sitting there boiling a bunch of shitty emotions.
Yeah. When you're biased, you're biased. Like it's really hard to change most people's minds about anything when it's related to like religion, politics, etc., because it's so emotional, not logical. I know you
salted butter. We're not just talking about politics, religion, education, medical systems. We're talking about salted butter, my friends. Everything needs to be questioned for us to evolve or at least gain a little bit of dignity before we trash this world anymore.
We're not able to see our own blind spots. I think that's what it is. And if you think that your beliefs are so true and so hard-coded in fact, let me tell you, you've got a fucking problem. It's strong beliefs, loosely held. You should be very open to changing your opinions about everything in life. And if you're not open to changing your opinions about something, you are stuck in the mud, you're old, and you've got some bad opinions.
Well, just take it easy on the old people, okay?
Sorry.
I'm not necessarily.
Yeah, old is a state of mind.
Old is a state of mind.
I don't mean like age.
Now, listen. I love what you just said there. You cannot commit yourself to your movement, to your ideals, and not look at what the other ones are. That is so narrow-minded. That is so self-centered and so narcissistic.
Unless your movement is women's healthcare, because women should have access to healthcare across the fucking United States.
In order to fully commit yourself to one idea or one religion or whatever it is, you have to at least take the opportunity to see what the other ideas are. Otherwise, you are I have nothing to say.
Yeah, just
fucking stupid. Oh,
don't be a factory worker, you know?
Don't be a factory. You know what? You already are a factory worker. So.
And like, yeah.
I just got unfollowed a whole bunch of times.
Probably me too. I don't have that many followers anyways. Doesn't matter to me.
You know what it is?
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. In order for us to be better people, we need to understand each other. Try to understand other perspectives.
Yeah. And I think that that starts with being able to listen to somebody. And I think that when you're very passionate and you feel that your belief is the only right belief, you don't even allow yourself to listen to somebody else. So that's the first thing to work on.
All right. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share with a friend, subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. Follow us at Harley and Malarkey Podcast on Instagram and send us a message to let us know what you want to hear next or have us answer your question on an upcoming episode. Tune in next week for more Old Dog New Tricks. Thank you for listening.